Hello again. Right, looking at this Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar chart again. One thing I forgot to do on this, and I'm looking at the daily chart, and we're going to go through a few daily charts, totally off the bat, as it were. Whoops. What happened there? Yeah, I meant to connect that and that, because that high has been broken by this one, so this becomes a new connection point. So yeah, I changed my batteries on my mouse and it's still playing up. No idea why. So yeah, that's that, and as you'll see on H4 now, that will look a little, you can even tighten it up to the H4 low there. I like to be precise. Oops, I think I moved another line there. I was looking at something else. Anyway, not to worry. You get the gist. So anywhere down here is a likely area that price will falter or stutter or whatever you want to call it. So that's that. Tightened up. And now let's have a look at a few daily charts starting on the ACAD. What I'm looking for is reversals, something like this. Where we've got a valid reversal, high, low, lower, high, lower, low, low, high, higher, low, higher, high, and continue until it closes above, and then we can look for a potential reversal. This happened any night of the week, as it were, daily chart, looking at the close and then looking for a potential reversal. Now, I don't like ones with spikes there, purely because the pullback could easily have happened during that daily candle. Okay, hope that makes sense. Unlike this one, look at this one here, massive break, bounce off of or a massive candle, should I say, clearly on support here, and look what happens, massive pullback. So that's the sort of thing we're looking for. This certainly isn't a big candle, however it has tested resistance, and then we could look at the RSI. Remember I mentioned in the previous video actually 3 bars of what's the word, pushing up, I can't think of the correct word, 3 bars in a row tends to mean potential buyer's exhaustion, if you think about it, or the other direction, seller's exhaustion, you know. So I know that's 4 or 5 bars there, 4, but be prepared for potential pullbacks. And then we just use the lower time frames, as I suggested in the previous video, H1 and so on and so forth, to attempt to trade them to our levels, which is why I draw the levels on the charts, to refresh my mind. I haven't done that for a while on any of the videos, but it is still always there. I thoroughly recommend it to you to do as a beginner at this, as it were. You know, look at that massive pullback there. High, low, lower, high, lower, low. I always sing lower high, even if it isn't a lower high. It's just the last 2 candles, bars, whatever, that don't, and the final one doesn't make a new low, otherwise you start again, and then it finally comes up, breaks through the resistance of the, what I call the penultimate low candle. That's the ultimate low, that's the penultimate low, the one before the ultimate, if you like. And once again, break of resistance, 2 solid resistance candles broken there by that green there, with the close, of course. It must have the close, and then look what happens. Retracement, massive, whole day of pulling back. Not sure how many pips that is. If my mouse works properly, we can get a rough idea. 180 odd pips, 190 pips. If you include the next day as well, then almost double that. So right, that's that one covered. And you know, this is the sort of thing you can do at the weekends, build up an idea. That's not a big candle, that is actually the retracement there going on, although we have got 3 RSI bars, but as you know, you can't rely on that. It's just an observation. So and then you just do the analysis on the higher time frame and the lower time frame to make your decisions about what might happen, never entering just on the fact that it might be a big candle that might have a retracement. Look where that pulls back to, massive candle, retracement almost back to the last support, broken as resistance. Okay, so it's, you'd need to educate yourself, guys. That's all there is to it, really. You know, it's, the tools are here. All you need is candles. The RSI is an added bonus, and you need to watch my other videos to work out how we use all three indicators, the currency strength indicator, candles and RSI in unison. So not much to see there. This one hasn't done the reversal to the long side yet. High, low, lower, high, lower, low, low, high, higher, low, until we get a break and close above there, and I would expect that then to potentially pull down to the short side. So maybe long on AJ to get above there and then pull back. That's just logic, you know, it's pure, simple logic. That in itself is a trading plan. Possible longs tomorrow, you can annotate your chart saying that. You could then come into the, I wouldn't suggest staring at the 10 o'clock in the UK, that is, candle open, because the spreads are all over the place and you need it to settle down. So come into the market at about 11, 12 o'clock midnight in the UK, which allows the spread to settle down, and then a bit of movement, and then you may even have a H1 reversal on your plate to the downside I'm talking about, or you know, if your analysis is bearish, or a continuation of some sort on the upside in this instance. Again, you know, levels are there to be broken. We use this and trend analysis on the lower time frames to attack those levels. So Aussie dollar, yeah, we're attacking the same thing. No surprises there, really. We can draw a valid, by the looks of it, descending trend line. If this low has been broken, 2640 by that low there, 2533, yes it has. So you know, if you want to do it more precisely, we can look at the H4 and draw a descending trend line there. Notice how it's broken, been respected as resistance becomes support, and you know, you've got a 2B pattern going on here. There's so much you could throw at this in order to validate your potential trade to the long side. We've actually, on H4 as well, we have done a reversal to the long side, high, low, lower, high, lower, low, low, high, higher, low, higher, high, and close. H4 is now in alignment with the daily. The daily we said hadn't aligned, but the lower time frame, massive ascending trend, low, high, higher, low, higher, high. This is just swing 4 of a long trend on the daily chart. Weekly, it's part of a pullback to the long side in a massive downtrend on the weekly, and the monthly, well, again, we can see. So really and truthfully, the higher time frames are telling you should be short, but that doesn't mean to say that lower time frames can't be traded, because remember, I make my money on the 1 minute, 5 minute time frame, but it always pays to know what the higher time frames are doing. That should be tightened up now, that one, to the high there, and so on and so forth. So that is a short lesson in analysing. We've done AZ, CAD-J, analysing what's going on. This one we've got we can, you know, you can look at this, but don't forget to look at this. This is confirmed down, low, high, higher, low, higher, high, high, low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low, and break and close. Sorry, I was going to stop then, but you can't help noticing this stuff. We're also broken and closed this one here, low, high, higher, low, higher, high, high, low, and sing the song until that green line there, or just above, was closed below. This failed to break this high here as well, so this is clearly not very strong to the upside. As you can see, CAD is weak as well, but that really wasn't a part of this analysis. We can clearly see histo alert should not be considered trading long against a red. So this is how you just build up your analysis. Now that's not a valid level of support there, but you can still draw them on to give you an idea of what's going on. The reason it's not a valid level of support is because that high wasn't broken by that. Okay, so we're short here because of this, we're short here because of this as well. Two confirmations to the short side, no confirmation to the long side apart from that one there, but that was cancelled out by this one here. High, low, lower high, lower low, low high, higher low, higher high, and finally the break and close above that red high there. And then it went up a little bit, no surprises where it stopped, a resistance level above you, and then it's just failed to make the high, as I said before. So excuse me, we can't even really draw a descending trend line anywhere here because this low has not been broken by that. So it's just a classic wedge formation here, spiral, whatever you want to call it, spring. This would have been the valid descending trend line because that low has been broken by that there. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Clearly see some sort of flip zone going on here as well. Support acting as resistance there, support acting as resistance. That's obviously a very, very strong level. No reason why it shouldn't be tested, but without a confirmation there, we still can't go long. So, and then we'd have a serious level there, which you can see. Resistance becomes support, 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 finally broken. So that would be a massive area to worry about. On the long side, we've got these support levels as well going on. Sorry, I just, live and breathe this stuff. So you can clearly see that support was tested and tested there as resistance. And, the histogram is screaming short on this anyway. So it's just a question of then checking all your different time frames to see what the histo is telling you. Well, it's just pulled back there and then gone short there. So, personally, if I was considering trading this, which, there's just too many opportunities available to take them all, then this has got to be short bias. H4 is long bias until the reversal is done to the downside. So we've got to categorically bust this level of support here. It's a daily low also. I hope you can understand why. Sorry, I was going to cut this video short a little while ago, but it's just difficult to not or unlearn this stuff, not study it. We could draw a descending trend line here now, connecting these. This low has been broken by this. I'm not even going to go on a higher time frame because I can just go on forever. So once this low is broken by a valid low, this high is broken by a valid new level there, that we can keep the line tighter, as it were. There wouldn't have been a valid line on that high there anyway because this low had not been broken at that stage. Hope that makes sense. So H1 is leading the way to breaking this one. I'll highlight it now. This is how my thought processes work. You can clearly see that H4 has been broken and closed below, so that, oh no, it hasn't. I do apologise. Stick that on there as well. See, that's held. That's significant. But it could have been targeted by the H1 reversal. H4 and the H1 coincide in this instance. But then we've got a swing trend, high, low, lower high. We've broken this low here with this low here. And this little H1 reversal here, low, high, high, low, high, 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 low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low, close was what led to this potential trade here to attack that H4 low. So that could have been traded as well. Okay, so that's how you trade the lower time frames to attack the higher time frames in order to trade profitably between various lines and levels drawn on your chart. So I know now it looks like a bit of a spaghetti junction, but I promise you, if you study this stuff long enough, you will, you can clearly see that low there was broken and closed below. With that candle there, that's the trend in place. You will start to believe in this stuff if you study it enough. There are no shortcuts. If this turns red below 20, you're good to go to the downside again. I don't want to be trading this long. There's masses and masses of resistance above us. You could draw another descending trend line here now. It goes on. That low here is broken by this low here, and so you build up a pattern, you build up a chart, and you build up a trading plan. So thank you for watching. Have a great Sunday. I'm off to do the horses.